The winner of this tournament gets a 4-day trip to Paris with a +1. I'm a purebred entrepreneur for real, like documented.
Into the mud and now I'm growing in sunshine.
Oh my God, there's something really here actually. Get John Kay involved, John Morgenstern on it, and tell everybody Gary's got another big idea, here it is, and give them all the bullet points we just talked about. Do that right away.
This is such a happy room.
It's wonderful. How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Good morning. I really do feel a tremendous sense of responsibility. I genuinely sit here this morning looking at all of you, and my chemicals and my emotions are, I work for them. What I just want to say is thank you, because I think we've all worked extremely hard this year. I genuinely believe that. Hard is something we'll always do, because I just know the makeup of this team. There's a lot of people that roll that way here. We've benefited from this, and I know a lot of you have felt this, and I've heard this from a lot of you, especially for the OGs here, more so than in a long time. I think we had a very clear focus. The way I look at everybody here is the way I look at leadership in general, parenting, being a president. We have no room in any shape or form, in any situation, to not treat each other or anybody that we interact with anything other than super glee, joyful, deep love, optimism, rainbows, and fucking unicorns. Here's why. Because that's what I do for you. This is very important to me. We are at our worst when the delta between how I treat you is different than how you treat anybody you interact with. Since I don't manage you with fear or negativity, why on earth would we? And by the way, this almost makes me want to cry. The amount of issues we have on this issue here is quite low. When I say this, please let everyone know that it's almost non-existent. I want it to be zero. I love you, thank you. I have something to add. The winner of this tournament gets a 4-day trip to Paris with a +1. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Yeah! Yeah! 1, 2, 3, shoot. Nice win, Peter. I'm pissed at him. I'm fucking pissed at him. 1, 2, 3, shoot. Oh! For a 4-day trip to Paris with a +1.
For the glory.
It is for the glory. I love that. It is for the glory. I love you too. This means everything. Here we go. Just wanted to say thank you. I'm stepping away for a little bit. I'm coming back. You now have a sword at the highest level with that talk. What I mean by that is, that's now your reference point all year to be on heavy offense. Good to see you.
It's been a long time.
Too long.
I think I lied to myself for a couple of years and thought that I was more noble than I was. But what I came to learn often from doing this podcast was that some kind of insecurity or some kind of shame was really the driving force at the heart of me. And as I sit here with athletes or Israel Adesanya, the UFC champion, or whoever it is, you uncover these stories which at a very young age, the thing that might have invalidated them when they were younger is now the thing they're striving to seek validation from as an adult.
My circumstances are, I think, yes, in some ways. For example, the system. School took such a shit on me. But what was different for me is I didn't believe them. This is where self-esteem is an obsession of mine. It was this weird balance that my mom created between deep confidence but accountability and truth. And so I watch a lot of people being driven by hurt, and I can sense that I'm driven by love. I see it in so many of my friends. I always say the 2 ways to build something insane is deep, deep insecurity turned into fuel, or deep, deep, deep levels of confidence turned into fuel.
One of the things that came out of my refinement, as you call it, and my kind of, maybe I'm just at the start of my wisdom years,
Yes.
was I look back on my perspective on my own insane luck of being a very optimistic person in the worst situations. And I wonder, I say, Steve, is mindset a privilege? It's because you described yourself as being as happy, you've always had this drive, this motivation. Is there a risk in us trying to advise others when they don't have the same privilege?
I think mental content is the ultimate privilege.
Yeah.
I have no belief that I'm right. I have no belief that I'm giving advice. I have no belief that anyone listening to this should do what I'm saying. I am putting info into the system, and I'm hoping that people can extract something of value for them. Here's something right for everyone. Cut out 1 hour of negativity, add 1 hour of positivity. If you're listening right now and you're like, ugh, social's such a drag, it's because you're in a drag mindset, and the algos and the people you follow are following you. You know what my social looks like? Fucking sunshine. In the world of the momentum of darkness right now, sunshine. You know why? I choose to fight for positivity, but I refuse to not be grounded in practicality, which is why I've always thrown curveballs. Love everybody, it's all awesome. Fuck 8th place trophies. What, Gary, what? 8th place trophies lead to entitlement and fear of losing, and it fucks up kids. So like, it's kind of that juxtaposition, practical positivity.
We have a closing tradition on this podcast where the last guest asks a question for the next guest. What do you want your tombstone to read about you?
He gave more than he took. It's very clear to me. It's been there for a long time in my head. Listen, I have a lot of dreams and hopes for myself. We need to teach people that's okay. That doesn't make you bad. That makes you awesome. But if you can balance that with also giving just a little bit more, in whatever that means, I gave more than I took. I believe in that.
You've certainly given me much more than you've ever taken. So thank you for that, Gary. I appreciate you. And it's an honor to spend some time with you.
Thank you, my friend. Good brother, you pulled out some real stuff there at the end. Thank you. Love you. Thank you. On Real Talk, you're catching us at the right time. We're now 6-7 years into this agency. If that is gonna be a big barometer for you, there's nobody within a universe of us of what they can do outside the field. And Kendall, let me give you the inside game of what's going on with us. So when we started 6 years ago, I didn't want to hire any of the big agents. I wanted to create my own culture. For me, we knew we were gonna eat shit for a minute, you know, because we didn't have it, like, we're like, you know, we could only go on like, yo, you know, like that kind of shit. And so we build, now we're there. Last year, 2 picks in the top 7, 6, top 6. We had huge free agency. Now the shit that people used to talk about us, like, yeah, they're good at marketing, but what about football? We're over that hump now. When people really fucking get wind to what we're actually doing here, there's really no reason to go with somebody else. And so the only reason I'm doing it is not because I'm the nicest guy on earth. I'm trying to fucking win out here. Most of all, on some real fucking talk from the get, I want you on this family. That's what matters to me. That's why I'm here right this second. While we're having this moment, I genuinely think this is a good time while we're all together. I'm wrong too much. You need to help me because this is where I'm trying to balance conviction and humility. We need to figure out when those moments are because they're profound moments. They're game-breaking moments. I don't need the validation. I just want us to win. I think some of you know this. Like, I feel so close to you even if I'm not talking because I'm so accustomed to talking through like energy. I'm like really here for you and I can really add value, and more importantly, I need you too. We just have a different X factor. We just do. And it's not me, it's us. All the great things that you have in your cake, same thing with this. It's and, not or.
Okay.
I didn't have a philosophical problem with college. It's when I started reading 1,000 messages a month from people that were in debt and deeply unhappy and can't get jobs for 7 straight years. I'm like, wait a minute, there's a problem here. I want to go around the entire room, one by one. What I want is your observation from the day. I'm really happy, I'm thankful, I'm grateful, I'm really pumped for tonight. I'm so excited to hear all this because this will help me a little bit, and then we'll talk about a topic. We can leave an enormous legacy. And why is that cool? Because it's going to help other people. Yeah. And what we are up to here is that. Let there be no confusion. That is what we're actually up to. All the other stuff will be nice and fun and cool, but that is what I'm interested in. DailyVee, hey, just great to be back. I want to get back on the horse on this. We talked about something in the leadership offsite tonight where we have the film of Claude coming back.
I get to sit with them and listen to them and watch them grow. That's like the biggest honor in the world.
So as of today, starting on Monday, we now have a Chief Heart Officer, all right? And that Chief Heart Officer is actually here. So I think we should grab our Chief Heart Officer.
When Gary introduced the name of the role as she rounded the corner and just kind of raised her hands in there, and we were all cheering for her. Just that moment, knowing she was back and knowing in the capacity that she was back in, it was just really cool. We were all just so happy.
So many moments lost in the last 2 years of not doing the vlog. So we'll make a commitment to that. Really good day, an emotional day, which is fun for me because I love the emotions of business. And I have a deep passion of reframing what business means in society. I believe it could be a tremendous catalyst of good. I think you can impact so many people. I think businesses, especially that come from a good intent and grow to be big, are probably the biggest thing that impacts society outside of governments and profound human communicators. I feel like I can be 2 of those things. I know I'm a profound communicator. That's why you've gifted me with the luxury of your attention. But I also think I can build one of the biggest business empires of all time. And I'm going to build it on kindness and civility and good. I'm excited for people watching this video right this second, 27 years after I've been gone, and affected by the message and affected by the perspective. I fight for that daily, truly believing that I can leave a positive mark on the world. Rest assured, I can't wait in 22 years when everyone's watching all this shit, because positivity's having its day, and the blueprint was written, it was executed, and it happened long before me. Nothing I do is new. This is always how it's been. Positivity always wins in the end. Love always wins in the end. People are just confused, but we all know what the score is. The ones of us that were lucky enough to have it inside of them. And I'll completely and forever fight for it until my last breath. Thanks for watching.